Welcome to Barkhausen Nature Bites. Today we're talking about this critter right here. We're talking turkey, about wild turkeys. Now these large game birds, we see them pretty often throughout the state of Wisconsin here, but that always wasn't the case. They are native to the state of Wisconsin, but back in the late 1800s, they were pretty much wiped out due to loss of habitat, especially oak forests, overhunting, and disease. And after some unsuccessful attempts to try to get the population going again, they finally had some success in the 1970s when the Wisconsin DNR worked out a deal with Missouri, the state of Missouri, to bring up some wild turkeys up to Wisconsin from Missouri. And from that population eventually grew to what we see today throughout the state of Wisconsin. We see them again pretty often. Part of that deal was that Wisconsin gave Missouri some ruffed grouse. So it's a good old-fashioned turkey-grouse swap, which really no one says, it just kind of made that up. But that's what happened back in the 1970s. So for wild turkeys, we're obviously familiar with what they look like. The males will have this beard on it, which really just is a mass of feathers. The females, the hens, they typically aren't going to have this. Males, by the way, are called gobblers, go figure. Immature males, jakes, they probably won't have quite as big of a beard, maybe not even there. But that's how you can tell the females and males apart. Another way to do that, which is kind of fun, is look for the droppings. I know it's right on top of everybody's list, go and look for turkey droppings. But trust me, it's kind of a fun thing to look for out in the woods. Picture like a cheese puff. It's kind of a bit longer, maybe a little bit thinner. It's going to have some white colors and green and blacks rather than the orange, and that's kind of what turkey droppings look like. The fun thing about it is that the females, the hens, their dropping is going to be more of a spiral shape, where the jakes, or I should say the jakes or the gobblers, the males, they're going to be more of a J shape. So if you see spiral shaped droppings from turkeys, you got a female. A J shape, you got a male. A nice way to remember that is figure J for James, Jeff, Jason, whatever you want to say. Remember, it's a male turkey left those droppings. So yeah, kind of fun thing to look for out there if you see like a gooey cheese poof out there on the ground. Just saying. Now to make those cheese poofs, the turkey droppings, turkeys have a pretty wide diet. In the spring and summer, they're going to eat fruits, vegetation, insects quite a bit. In the winter, they're going to change it over to nuts and some more grains, that kind of stuff in the winter. And usually after they eat, they're going to do something kind of fun. They're going to take a dust bath. They're going to find some loose soil, maybe anthill, something like that, a good sandy area, and just kind of roll around it, kick a bunch of that loose soil up, that sand there, gets in their feathers, and it's basically cleaning their feathers, of which they got almost 6,000 of them, so they want to keep those clean. So for wild turkeys in the spring, obviously the male is going to do his thing. He's going to be gobbling, strutting, attracting the female. After they mate, the female is going to make a nest, usually of dead leaves by like a base of a tree, some shrubs or a brush. She'll incubate for about a month, and then the eggs will hatch. And the nestlings, once they hatch, they're only in there for about a day, and that's about it. They're precocial, so what that means is they're pretty much born ready. As soon as they're born, they got feathers on them, they're ready to eat on their own, and they'll be following mom around. They don't need quite as much care right away as like a robin would when the baby's hatching. A lot of help. Precocial chicks from turkeys, or like ducks, for example, as well, they're pretty much born ready to go. So for the wild turkeys, a lot of fun facts about them. They have really good eyesight. They also have really good hearing. It's really hard to sneak up on a turkey. Not quite a good sense of smell though, but it's hard to sneak up on a turkey except when they're roosting. And this is where it gets kind of fun sometimes. They'll sleep up in large trees, which is really safe from predators. And if you ever walked around in the evening hours, early morning hours, and you stumble upon where turkeys are roosting, well, you're going to get scared pretty good probably, because when they take off and you spook them, they fly, it's a very loud sound and they're not quiet at all. It's going to scare the sparrows and jays right out of you. So it's kind of fun to happen sometimes in the evening hours, early morning hours. So turkeys, a lot of kind of cool things. One of the stories I've heard about wild turkeys is that Benjamin Franklin won the turkey to be a part of the national seal of the United States of America, not the bald eagle. There's a little bit of truth to that, kind of. It wasn't actually, he didn't actually push for the wild turkey. It wasn't like publicly saying we should have the wild turkey as part of the national seal. It was more than a letter he wrote to his daughter, a private letter, saying that he thought the turkey was more respectable than the bald eagle, and not so much like really pushing for that. So, and you know, bald eagles are great and all that, and I totally agree with that being part of the national seal, but he's got a little bit of point. I mean, what's more respectable than a bird with a beard, right? So for wild turkeys, keep your eyes out for these respectable birds out here this year and stuff. You'll see them out and about. If you see a wild turkey out there telling a story, you better listen close, because they always have great tales. Thanks for watching Barkhausen Nature Bites.